So today I'm going to, it's so funny. I'm going to digress for a minute. They say that a camera adds 10 pounds to you. That is so true. Uh, Wait, hold on a second. You know what? I think I got a setting off here. Hold on a second. That's what's wrong. There we go. Okay, that's better. Oh, much better. These 4 Kakai pumpkins here? I harvested a bunch of the seeds, and then I left the carcasses here with quite a bit of the flesh in this bed. 2 reasons. Why can't I even tie this stupid thing? One reason is if I put them into the compost pile, what happens is that I get bears in the compost pile. So anything big like this, I have to either break it down in a bunch, chop it all up, or I have to just not put it in there. I put all the other kitchen scraps in there, but for some reason, they love the pumpkins and stuff. So you can see the hole here. I harvested a whole bunch of the seeds. Same thing here. There's a big hole. I harvested a bunch, and then I left them in here. And the second reason is that once they will break down and they'll rot. See, most of it, like this one's almost completely empty because the birds have gotten in here. Well, this one actually didn't have any holes for the birds to get in. I flipped it over. But they rot in here, and then they just they fertilize these beds. And so I didn't mind leaving them in here, even though they're ugly. But nobody comes out here in the wintertime and sees them. So I left them, and they actually do add nutrients to the bed. So now I'm going to go ahead. Now I can pick them up and I can put them in the compost pile. So there's actually 3 things that happen. It does add nutrients, but at the same time, it also feeds the worms. Let me show you. Let me show you what's going on here. So another thing it does, it feeds these worms. When I pulled this one off, there were like 20 of them right here. And of course, when they saw the light, down back into the ground they went. So this feeds the worms big time. Because I don't leave a lot of this, like this, weeds and stuff, decaying matter. There's just not a lot in here for them to eat. And so I do go ahead and leave some trash in here over the winter. So yeah, that's 3 things that it does. So, but it's time now for this waste to go into the compost. So that's not why I came out here actually to do that. I do have to pull the corn stalks there, but other than that, that's not what I came out here for. I wanted to plant something in the end of this 4-foot by 16-foot garlic bed. And I've decided I'm going to put these Copenhagen cabbage right here in this 4-foot by 4-foot section. I need to get them out of the greenhouse. 2 reasons. Number 1, I wanted to put something in here. And number 2, I need the space in the greenhouse because I'm going to start my seedlings for the plant sale next month. So I need the space. And it's funny, when I built that greenhouse, I thought, that's going to be big enough, plenty big for my seedling starts in the spring. You know what? That thing's about 1/4 the size that it should be. So it's 12 by 8, and that's not big enough at all. So I am building a new greenhouse this fall. I'm going to build it over here, probably where the old Harbor Freight greenhouse was, and I'm going to do it the full. It's going to be double that size. It'll be the full 192 or 196 square feet, whatever that is. 12 by 16, 192. But yeah, I need the space, so these have got to come out. And I've got 30 of these. But these are going to be part of my cold hardy plant sale, which is going to be my onions and my broccoli and all the spinach and the cabbage. But that's coming up in just a couple weeks. In this bed here, what I normally do is in these 4-foot beds, I like to give them 2 feet each. Each plant should get 2 feet. Like I'll put a tomato here and a tomato here. But the thing about the cabbage is the cabbage grows one central head, one head only. And even though it's large, it only takes up, like 1 foot. So it has a lot of green growth though. But I don't care about that. They can go ahead and encroach on each other. I just don't want the heads to be banging together. So what I've decided is instead of just going 2, I'm going to go 3, and they're going to be incredibly tight. Last year I did 2, and they had plenty of room. But I just always in the back of my mind thinking, you know what? I can utilize this space better. So I'm going to plant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these this year. So I'll bring you in and show you these. Now, incidentally, these are the Copenhagen cabbage that I showed in my last video on planting your seedlings deep. So you'll see how well they're doing when I bring you in. So let's go ahead and plant these 6 cabbage right here. So look how well these are doing. Look at this. They're just doing so well. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and plant those 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll save the rest of these. Now, since I've already planted these deep once before, I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to go ahead and plant them the same depth they were in here. Now, you'll notice these here, see those roots are starting to kind of circle around. So a lot of people would just pull this out if it was a single plant and just drop it in. The thing is, you don't want to do that because you're continuing a cycle is what you're doing. If those roots are kind of circling around like this, well, then what they'll do a lot of times is just keep that cycle going. And you don't want that. You want to pull these roots out like this. And so you're kind of pulling them, you know, outward so that they'll grow this way and get a much stronger root system. So I don't mind getting rid of a lot of this native soil that was here. I'm just going to go ahead and, if there's really small lower leaves, I'll take those off. Like these here, those little leaves there, they can come right off. Now, incidentally, I'm using a glove on my right hand because that one's got a little sun damage. Because I got a cut on my hand and I don't want to get dirt in it. So yeah, you can tell what sun damage is. I should have showed you before I pulled that off. But basically what happens is the leaves get white on them, and that's just caused by too much sun. They're susceptible to that because they're a cold hardy plant. They do not like lots of heat and lots of sun. Well, they don't mind, I think, a lot of sun, but they just certainly don't like a lot of heat. See how easy this is. Pull those roots apart. Oh, there's some worms. You can tell you have healthy soil when you see a lot of worms. So let me show you these again. So look at the size of that root system. That is incredible. So it didn't mind being planted all the way up to here. And look at the new roots. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to water this in. And then probably tomorrow I'm going to come back out and shoot a new video and show you how I actually put a row cover on these to keep the squirrels and the birds and everything out of this bed. So it's starting to rain on me, but before I go, I wanted to show you something. I did make a little mistake on something. One thing that I did not do, I have this apple tree that's in this 30-gallon trash can. And one thing, we have had more rain this spring than I think I've ever seen here. And something that I need to do that you should be conscious of if you're going to plant in these 30-gallon cans all year, because winter it doesn't matter, but all year long. Let me show you what happened to this tree, and I need to rectify it today. So look at this. So this here, all that water is just from like so much rain we've had for like a week straight. And normally it drains, but the rain has been so heavy that it's not draining fast enough. So it's going to kill this apple tree if I don't do something about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drill holes in the sides here and give it more drainage. I'll do this with everything that I have planted in these that's in there all year long. So you might want to be conscious of that. So in the next couple days, I'm going to be busy planting all the seeds for spring and summer, and I'll bring you guys along for that. All right, we'll catch you later.